A while ago, I non-stop played ISO during the ISO to Ascendant series. During that series, I've learned a lot of things about ISO, and today I'm gonna share everything I learned. In this ISO guide, I'll talk about his abilities, his playstyle, strange mechanics, and in the end answer the question, is ISO a good agent to rank up with? This is gonna be a fun video, my friends, but before I start, I quickly want to do one disclaimer. I think I finished the ISO series about 3 months ago, but I kinda forgot to make a video about it. This means that in the clips on the background, when you see me pressing my E, I don't get a shield immediately, because lately ISO got updated and now when you press E you do get a shield immediately. Luckily this is just a small difference between the clips you see and the current state of ISO. I still wanted to make this video so bad, it's a waste to throw all these clips away, you know, because I believe I can give you guys a lot of tips about this agent. So trust me, at the end of this video you know everything you need to know when you want to play ISO competitive. Now enjoy the video, my friends. The ISO abilities. Since we talked about it, let's start with this E ability. The ISO shield is one of ISO's most iconic abilities. When you press it you get a shield, and every time you make a kill or get an assist, an orb will spawn, and when you shoot under the orb you refresh your shield. And oof, my friends, let me give you immediately one of the biggest tips I can give for ISO. Don't be too greedy to shoot on those orbs. I personally died way too many times with this mistake, like in this round. In this round I got a nice kill, and if I walked to B main I would be safe for the enemies, but instead I peeked twice just to shoot on the orb, and because of that I died.
I saw it. That was not worth it, but kinda...
What? Staying alive is worth way more than just a shield. But now the question, when do you use your E ability? It's very straightforward, just use your E ability when you think you are about to fight the enemies. And a very big tip, the ISO shield is the best counter for an operator. It's always so satisfying when an operator breaks your shield and you just go for a one-tap E after that. Let's move on now and talk about the C ability, the wall of ISO. This is probably the hardest ISO ability to use when you pick up this agent. But here are some tips. When you use this ability, the enemies will almost never go directly through your wall. This means that when you use your C ability, you don't need to pay attention what's in front of you. Instead, it's only good to use as cover while you pay attention to either the left or the right. So over here on A long, for example, I used my C to get cover on stairs, and while I was pushing forward I checked the right side, and because of that we could safely push A. And here another example, from tree I used my wall towards pit, but I didn't check pit. Instead I checked the left side, and that's where the enemies were.
Go then.
Whoa, okay. Something I did wrong over here is not checking pit after my wall disappeared and I got the kills, but I think you get the point by now. Use your wall straight and look to the left or the right while pushing. Now it's time to talk about the Q of ISO, his vulnerability. Luckily this ability is a bit more straightforward. There are actually only 3 main ways to use this ability. The first way, use this ability when you think the enemies are pushing you. The second way, use this ability when you want to push the enemies yourself and you think an enemy is in that specific corner.
Wow!
Should be.
Or the third way, use this ability in combination with your teammates' abilities. A Sofa ultimate, for example. Nice! Combo! And that's it actually. Very simple, right? There's only one more small tip I can give you. If you just started playing ISO and you're not sure about the range, you can always look at the minimap to know where your Q will land. Now let's move on and talk about maybe the most interesting ability of whole Valorant, the ISO ultimate. When you use your ultimate on an enemy, you get into an arena for a true 1v1 battle. But this battle is actually not very balanced, because if you play it right, you as an ISO player have a small advantage over the enemy. And here's why. First of all, you get 2 walls and the enemy only gets 1 wall. This means that you have a way bigger playing field than the enemy. So more places to walk to, and when the enemy spots you, there's a higher chance that he needs to flick way more than if you spot the enemy. So all you gotta do is make use of these 2 walls with good movement. You need to walk to a spot where the enemy has a minimal amount of playing field and you got the biggest amount of playing field. What, Mr. Lowlander? My brain hurts. What do you mean? Well, my friends, just take a look at this illustration. A tactic that I personally like to use a lot was either walk to the left or the right. Then at the left wall, for example, I would go for a quick peek towards the enemy. Now you either have a quick 1v1. Oh, let's go. Or if the enemy didn't peek on his left, meant that the enemy's playing field was only this part of the ultimate. And every angle from that part got blocked by my wall. So all you gotta do now is roughly aim to that area, and when the walls go down, then shoot on the enemy. Ah, okay. Oh. This tactic I used in almost every ISO ultimate, and it worked so often, so I would really recommend. And if you think this was all you had to know about the ISO ultimate, then you're wrong. A while ago I made a tier list of all the ultimates in the game, and I placed the ISO ultimate at the number 4 spot. A lot of people disagreed with that, but I still believe that in solo queue the ISO ultimate is one of the best ultis in the game. And here's why. One thing you gotta know is that the ISO ultimate isn't about the 1v1 battle. No, my friends, that's not the real strength of this ability. The real strength of this ability is that you can get an enemy off a side. Usually the defenders only have 1 or 2 enemies on a particular side. So if you want to push a side with 5 teammates, for example A on split, using your ultimate to get 1 enemy off a side is extremely strong, because then you create a 4 versus 1 for your teammates.
Okay, we will kill him. We are holding.
Oh, it's sheriff.
Even though I completely got destroyed in this round, like you see, my teammate got A basically for free. And that's the strength of your ultimate. You don't even need to make the kill. You just gotta know when you need to use your ultimate and a team that follows you up. And that's not all, because another bonus is that the enemies also won't be able to use their abilities if you ult them. So in this round, when I kidnapped the enemy Viper, she wasn't able to use any of her smoke, so my teammates could push even easier.
Viper.
Again, I died because I'm bad, but it still was worth it because my allies got the side for free. Then you have another reason why the ISO ultimate is good. You will always win the 2 versus 1s.
Yeah, get his body, get his body. We win. Don't knife him, just shoot him.
And again, I lost this 1v1, but my teammate won the round. But I think you get the point by now, right? The ISO ultimate is not strong because you can do a 1v1 battle, but it's strong because you can kidnap the enemy and your whole team can take advantage of that. Or alternatively, one more thing about the ultimate, when you're low HP and the enemies are pushing you, you can also do something what I call a desperado. When you're desperate because you're almost certain that you're gonna die, you can always use your ultimate and then suddenly you're full HP again and have an equal 1v1 battle to take one more enemy with you in your grave. Like you see me doing over here.
At least take one with me. I'm dead anyway. I'm dead.
Let's go to the next part, the ISO mechanics. ISO has a lot of strange ability mechanics that are very useful for you to know. So I'll go over those and after that I'll talk about the playstyle of ISO. The first one is that when you activate your shield and then walk into a KO ultimate, your shield will stay up. This means that it's very recommended that when you hear that the KO is using his ultimate, you press your E immediately, so you still have a shield for the fight and even orbs will still spawn. You aren't able to see the ISO orbs through smokes, however you will be able to see the duration of the orbs through smokes. This means that you just have to aim a little bit above that and then you can shoot them. When you activate your ISO shield, you won't take any fall damage, and when you would have taken fall damage, your shield does not break. And the last thing, the enemies are able to destroy your orbs, so make sure that you are the first one to shoot them. Now it's time to talk about the playstyle of ISO. And let's start with the attacker side. The attacker side with ISO is actually pretty straightforward. You just play him like any other duelist. Make sure that you activate your shield in time before you push in and then just go with your teammates. But there's the cool thing about ISO. Because of his shield, it's not bad to sometimes go for those peaks that are actually too aggressive. Take this round for example. Overall, if you get A side on icebox, you should never go for a peak towards middle. But because my shield was ready, I went for the peak. The operator broke the shield and I got some easy kills.
I got the shield, so no go for ult. Yeah.
One behind.
Whoa! Now the defender side. Something where ISO is very good in is retaking, and he's a bit less good in holding a side. This is because his abilities are more for entering and less for holding. So what I would recommend is playing a bit on the back of the side, maybe get 1 or 2 kills when the enemies are pushing, and wait for your teammates so you could retake together. A bit like I did in this round. Here I did a desperado, I was low HP and I thought I was gonna die, so I went for an equal 1v1 battle in the ultimate.
Yeah.
With the walking to the left side tactic again, and after that we retook the side with our team, easy win.
Nice.
And here another cool retake where all the tricks come in together. In this round I used my wall to block off hookah. While my wall was going forward, I was looking to the right and to the side, got some kills and won the round.
Last player standing.
Nice.
One enemy remaining.
What ult is ready?
Woohoo! Not sure if you noticed it, but I wanted to use my ult in this round, but in the end I decided not to do that, and that was simply because I had my shield ready. And when you got your shield ready, you got an advantage over your enemy, so I just went for the peak and easy win. Now to end this video, let's answer the question, is ISO a good agent to rank up with? And my answer to that is solo queue, definitely. He's not only strong in team play with his ultimate, but he's also very strong to solo carry a game, so I would definitely recommend. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you learned something, and I see you guys in the next one. Peace.